What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're going to be checking out the Scoutlite SparkO. I mentioned earlier in the week that it's going to be the week of flashlights, and we're going to end it off with one that's just super unique. Now, this one recently went through a successful Kickstarter campaign where it exceeded its funding goal by 100x, and they're now opening it up to late pledges. And so you can pick this up for $33 for the flashlight only, or $43 with the magnetic mount. Has a ton of different features, which we'll be going over here, but I'll make sure to link down in the description where you can pick this one up if you're interested. Now, these will be shipping out in October 2025, the same time as the regular pledges, and so should be seeing those shipping out shortly. Now, we'll start with the flashlight basics here. In terms of sizing, it's really compact, about 1.75 inches in diameter on the round portion. That's not taking into account this rubber loop here, which gets it to a little bit over 2 inches in width. In terms of the thickness, we're looking at just a hair over 0.5 inches or half an inch here, and so not super thick either. There is a magnet on the back, and so you can use that as a mounting option to mount it to really any metal objects, but it also folds and magnets to itself, which is why we have that rubber loop over here. And this is a really strong magnet. You can see it takes some effort to get that separated. There's this little rubber grip in the center to make it a little bit more grippy, but also goes into that hole to really lock it in place. So you can attach this to your tent, to your t-shirt, either the bottom, the collar, the sleeve, pocket, whatever the case may be. Really any fabric, you just place it in between and then close that there, and it's going to secure on there very, very nicely. And so really nice for different mountable options. And then obviously if you pick up the mounting kit, you'll get this magnet to attach to your phone, so you can use it as a ring style light. And then this little base here that folds out to give you an extended base to mount it at different angles. So really, really nice features for that. I'm probably going to attach that ring to a fresh phone case that's dedicated to use of this light, so that if I want to use it at any time and I swap out my cases in between, I can always just swap back to that case. Now, it is USB-C rechargeable. There's a 380 milliamp hour battery in here, non-replaceable. That dust cover keeps it IPX5 water resistant, and then it has a 1.5 meter impact resistance. Now, in terms of the UI, pretty simple to use. A single click gives you a battery indicator, and so you can see it lights up 3 quadrants. That means that it's under 75%. If it went over that, it would be in the 76 to 100% range. So this is just a battery check, and you get the same indicators when you're charging it. It takes about 2 hours to charge from empty, and so obviously each quadrant represents 25%. So super intuitive, easy to remember there. Now, in order to turn it on, you just hold it for a second, and so after that battery check finishes, it will go on in a memory mode wherever you last left it. Now, this one offers a bunch of different color temperatures. So we're going to start with the cool white and then move on to the warm white and then just the warm, and finally the red light mode. So 4 different light modes, and then each of those have different brightness and settings. The cool white, the warm white, and the warm, the lumen output is going to be identical. It's just the runtime that changes, but we'll go over each of them. So this eco mode, which is only 6 lumens, will run for about 15 hours. It is ultra bright. Even at 6 lumens, it's nice, floody, has tons of spill, so lights up an area really nicely, and it's a high CRI light, so I believe 95 CRI, so nice clean light color temperatures on these. 6500K for our cool white. If we want to cycle, all we have to do is press that center button. So that moves us up to our low mode, which is 30 lumens, 4 hours and 38-minute runtime. Again, very, very bright for the amount of lumens that it's outputting. It just feels a lot brighter than it is. Our medium is 100 lumens for 1 hour and 35 minutes. And finally, our high is 300 lumens for 1 hour and 7 minutes. Now, if I click this again, it will go back to our low, so we can cycle from wherever we want. We'll leave it in our high, and then if you double click the button, instead of changing the brightness, it's going to change the color temperature or the lighting mode. So double clicking it once gets us to our warm white, which is 4300K, and you can already see kind of the difference in that color tone. We can cycle back down to our low from here. So again, starting with the eco, which is again 6 lumens, we get about 9 hours and 48 minutes of runtime. This is 4300K on our color temperature. And then our low is again 30 lumens, but this time for 2 hours and 40 minutes, followed by medium for 100 lumens, 1 hour and 34 minutes, and finally the high for 300 lumens, which will last 1 hour and 11 minutes. We'll double click again to cycle to just a regular warm. So this is warm white, and then this is regular warm. And so again, you see that change in temperature to about 2700 K now. We'll cycle back down to our eco, 6 lumens, 13 hours and 50 minutes, followed by our low for 30 lumens, 3 hours and 17 minutes. Medium, 100 lumens, 1 hour and 34 minutes, and our high, 300 lumens, once again, 1 hour and 8 minutes. Now, we're going to cycle down to our lowest mode. The red light is the one that's going to be a little bit different. So as soon as I cycle over, it's going to go into a rotating light mode. I don't think that's going to be an issue for people who are sensitive to strobe or flashing lights, but just in case it is, strobe warning here, we're also going to look at strobe at the end. So if you want to skip this segment of the video, feel free to skip ahead a couple minutes. So we're going to circle over to our rotating mode, which is the red light. And when you cycle over, it stays in whatever mode you were in the previous mode. So this is the equivalent of eco. There's no eco mode in red light. You get the rotating light, which is 10 lumens, 6 hours of runtime there. Clicking again will get us into our regular low mode. But instead of 30 lumens, which we got in the low mode in all of the other settings, we are still at 10 lumens, and that's going to run for 3 hours and 13 minutes in this constant mode. Now, moving up to our medium, 35 lumens, 1 hour and 23 minutes, followed by our high, which is 70 lumens for 1 hour. Now, I mentioned that strobe. You don't have to be in red light to use the strobe, but the strobe is red. So if you triple click from any of the on modes, you're going to jump directly into your strobe mode. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And so you can see we have that strobe. It's a red light, about 70 lumens, and it'll run for 7 hours and 48 minutes. And I think they show this one off as kind of being used on the back of your shirt. If you're riding a bicycle, you can use this or the rotating light just to get people's attention and let them know that you're there. So that's a really nice option. Now, clicking doesn't really do anything here, so you do have to triple click again to get out of it. Oops, I quadruple click there. There we go. Triple click to get out of it. It will go back to whatever mode you were in. And then again, you can cycle through those different modes, and it will have a memory mode as well. So if we turn it off here in that kind of high, cool white mode, we turn it back on, it goes back on in the exact same mode. And again, no matter where we leave it, if we want to leave it in this warm light mode and turn it off, it will be obviously the exact same thing, and you just hold it for that second to turn it on. So super simple user interface, a ton of different lighting options, and again, super clean, clear lighting. So if you want to use this for photography or for video as a sort of ring light, that's definitely an option. I would probably pick up the mounting kit if that's the case, but it gives it a really kind of versatile feel to it, because I can use it for that, and I can also use it if I'm out hiking and just kind of want that floodlight for the regular lighting modes, or that signal light to let people know where I'm at. If you're hiking at night, you want that rotating light so people hiking behind you can easily follow you. It gives you that option as well. So really, really cool light from SparkO. Once again, $33 for the light, $43 for the light and the mounting kit, and they are in the late pledge stage of Kickstarter, so it's already been fulfilled, it's already happening, these are already being manufactured, and these will ship out in October of 2025. A couple different colors available as well. So the one we're looking at here is called Glacier Blue. I love blue, so I think a really cool colorway. There's also a Forest Moss, which is sort of your green color. I do have a lot of lights in that color already, so I'm kind of glad they sent over the blue version. There's also Canyon Clay, which is a brown one that also would have been a really cool option, and I think they also added a black option as well, just kind of your standard fare there. So 4 different colors to choose from, and if you do bundle up, you can end up choosing multiple of these if you want to go with having a couple of them, so that's definitely an option as well. I didn't write down the prices for the bundles, but obviously you do get a discount if you're buying them in bulk. Would love to hear your thoughts on this light down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, or checking out some other content. All helps the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.